Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2025 Meet Your Future T-Level Week webinar. My name is Jake. I'm part of the Education Work and Skills team here at Greater Manchester Combined Authority. And for those of you that have joined before, you might be aware that Meet Your Future was launched in 2019 by Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester. And it's to give people like young people like yourselves the chance to meet real employers and explore different career paths. We've developed a suite of information, resources and services that are there to help you on this journey, and that can be found on GMAX. I've popped a link into the chat on GMAX, and we've got Sophie, one of my colleagues, with us today. We'll be talking around it later on. Many of you may already be familiar with GMAX, but if not, please speak to your teacher to find out more. We hope this session inspires you and helps you feel more confident about your future in Greater Manchester. And in today's session, you'll be hearing from a multitude of different guests. We've got Laura from the Trafford and Stockport College Group. We've got Usman, who is a T-level student at the college. We've got Joe Hindle from R&B Switchgear Group. And we've got Sophie Hallworth from GMCA's GMAX Digital team. For any of you that may have questions or any thoughts that may arise during the session, on the right hand of the screen you should see a Q&A function. Please pop it into there and we'll make sure that we'll get back to your questions at the end. If you'd like to use any captions or subtitles during the event, please select captions and subtitles in your video controls. But to start with, I'm going to hand over to Laura. So thank you. Over to you, Laura.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, Jake. My name's Laura. I'm going to provide an kind of introduction to T-levels from a college point of view. I'm the Industry Placement Manager at Trafford and Stockport College Group. And an Industry Placement Manager looks after the placement side of T-levels. So we have an open event this Saturday in Altrincham and Okay, and next slide. So why choose T-levels? Okay, it's a blend of learning and placement. So T-levels combine 80% learning with 20% placement. That's kind of the flip reverse of an apprenticeship, where an apprenticeship is 80% placement and 20% learning. So if you're thinking about an apprenticeship, a T-level could be a good backup plan. You make strong connections with employers. That's one of the real values of a T-level. And you get to develop knowledge and skills that employers want. The T-level courses themselves are designed by employers, and then on your placement, we work closely with your placement employer to ensure that you're developing skills for your course and skills that they would like you to have too. T-levels provide a choice of pathways, so they're the equivalent of 3 A-levels, so you can use them to go to university. They have great outcomes for moving straight into a higher or degree apprenticeship. I know you're hearing from an employer later, and I'm sure they'll be telling you about some great success from placement students with their business. You can also move straight into a job. Apologies for this slide being blurry, but I wanted to just show you a flavour of the different T-levels that are out there, okay? We have 5 colleges in our college group, so you can see that different colleges have different T-levels. It's the same for Manchester College, you know, Bury College, wherever you may be listening from today. So I would advise you guys to do your research, look at the websites and see what T-levels are at colleges close to where you live. So industry placements, they're a really exciting element to your T-level. They give you the chance to put your learning into practice for a minimum of 45 days. That can look like a block placement. So our accountants go out for a kind of whole block of time. Our business T-levels, they go out for 1 to 2 days throughout the course. There's just a selection of the employers that we're working with. So in terms of support, we have industry placement officers and those industry placement officers are aligned to your course. They find the placement for you and they support you with introduction to the employer, and you can call them while you're on placement if there's anything you're worried about. Within college, we have obviously the tutors, learning support. So if you have any kind of learning difficulty or struggling with anything at all, we have that kind of support. Pastoral support mentors. So if you're struggling emotionally with friendships, with anxiety, sleep patterns, you can talk to your pastoral support mentor. If you're thinking about what to do next, we have careers advisors. They'll be at the open day too. And students, certain students qualify for a bursary that you would apply for, and all students who have additional expenses over their free bus pass that you'll hear about later from about our pass, but students who might need to use a train will provide travel expenses to your T-level placement. You might be worrying about your placement, but there's loads of preparation for that in class. The employers even come to the class and support you. So the final thing for me to say is just, as you're deciding what to do next, think about who you are, what you like to do. Are you okay with exams? You know, are you expecting to pass maths and English? You know, then you might be considering A levels, but also T levels. If you prefer to go straight into something like joinery or hairdressing, a vocational course, you might look at one of those courses. If you're worried about passing maths and English, there's other courses in college with lower grades. Okay, so you could do that, resit maths and English, and then join. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. I'm now going to pass you over to Usman, who's one of our students who's completed a placement already. Thank you, everybody.
Hi there, my name is Mohammed Usman Arif. I'm one of the T-level students doing the Design Surveying Planning course. So during my GCSEs, I worked really hard and managed to get really good grades, which were far better than my mock results. So at that moment, I was considering to do A-levels, which were going to be 3D design, maths, art and biology. I was going to do them at Loreto College, but because when I received my mock results, they weren't as good, so I wasn't able to get a place at Loreto. So I had to think of a plan B. I loved design technology, maths, arts, and I always wanted to be in the construction industry. So what I did was I researched into different roles, and I went with the trade, which was carpentry joinery. So I did my level 1 and level 2 in carpentry joinery and bench joinery, and got distinctions in both of them. And during the summer holiday, what happened was there was an opportunity where I was getting work experience from Wilmot Dixon, which was the Stockport interchange project. So I worked there for around 5 days and was there doing joinery things. So I was putting on kitchen units, doors, skirting boards, all sorts of stuff, and I really enjoyed it. So what happened was, after getting the work experience, I never knew what's called it would, and I never knew it was really physical because I was always in a workshop. So after getting the experience, I wanted to either go to university. So what happened was, because I only had a level 2 qualification, I wasn't able to. And this year, or the previous year, they started a T-level course. So I went to the career advisor before that, and I talked to her about me going to uni and what qualifications I would need. So she was basically giving me guidance relating to what qualification you would need to go into uni. So a new qualification came, which was the T level, and there were 2 T levels that I was interested in, which were the engineering T level and the design, surveying and planning T level. So I researched different roles of construction again, and one role that interested me was the quantity surveying role, and that was basically covered in the T level design, surveying and planning. So I picked design, surveying and planning, and yeah, so once I did that, carried on with the T level, did my first year. Next, please. So during the T level, you have to pick work placement or gain work experience as it's part of the T level. So I was selected by Wilmot Dixon on 2 different projects, which were really helpful, as I was able to be given an opportunity to work on 2 different projects, which was the Marple project and the Hyde and Oldham project. I was able to work with different professionals from different careers and learn their background, how they got into construction. And because of this really helped me because I knew what qualifications I needed to become a quantity surveyor or a structural engineer. The top 5 things that I got to do during my placement were to shadow different professionals such as the quantity surveyors, build managers, bid managers, design managers, digital teams. Loved all of them. But the most thing that interested me was the structural engineering and the quantity surveying. I was able to learn different softwares, which were Excel, Bluebeam, Viewpoint, 3D Vista, and I was able to see different drawings and how they worked. I was able to learn how to set up this total station. Do you see this camera thing right here? Yeah, so that's basically called a total station. I was able to learn how to set it up. And the reason why I wanted to learn this was because in the second year, there was this exam that I needed to do. And it consisted of me using this total station. So I went to Becky Lana, who was in charge of me on the site. So I went to her and told her that I wanted to learn this. So I was able to give her an opportunity to learn this. I also attended different meetings and saw what happened during the meetings, what sort of questions were asked. I learnt about different cube testings. Do you see those molds down there where there's concrete poured inside? So what they do is they pour concrete inside and then they let it harden. So after it's hardened, they send it to the laboratory and they basically take the mold out or take the concrete out and then put it on into the hydraulic press. And basically what they do is they turn the hydraulic press and see how long it takes for the concrete to crack or done. Yeah, so what I gained from completing my T level was real work experience. Now I have an overview of the real world of work and what I want to do next. I've been able to gain contacts in the industry. This can basically help me progress into new roles within the company. I've been able to get practical knowledge, so I can basically perform better in my exams, like I was saying about the total station. I was able to get a reference, so there's a higher chance of me getting selected into the roles when I'm applying. The company you work for gets to know you better. I have a better chance of securing a degree apprenticeship with them, and moreover, I've been able to gain communication skills and confidence, and this is the reason why I can present here today, and it's something I'm going to do for Wilmot Dixon again.
Hi, good morning everybody. My name's Jo Hindle. I'm the Group HR Director at R&B Switchgear Group. So at R&B Switchgear, we specialise in power engineering, and here's some of the things that we do. So our main areas are switchgear manufacturing and switchgear maintenance. We also offer, another range of services, as you can see on the slide. So what is switchgear? Switchgear controls and distributes electricity, and it does that by switching the power on and off safely, protecting the system if there's a fault, and controlling the flow of electricity. So typically, if you can imagine in your house, you might be looking at something like a fuse box, and we just do that on a much larger scale. So at R&B Switchgear, we created an academy which was dedicated towards apprenticeships and T-level apprentices, and we work in partnership with colleges across Greater Manchester, including the Manchester College. So we very much focus on developing the next generation of engineers through the T-level programme, and we do that through industry and college events. So we do networking events for people to come and see what career opportunities are like through a T-level route in R&B. So if you attended one of these affairs, you would get to see and understand a little bit more about us. We then have an application and assessment day where we're looking for different skills beyond that of your technical capability. So typically we're looking for things like, you know, confidence, team working skills, a good attitude. You know, are you able to work and communicate effectively with the group in terms of the assessment? We're also looking at your media profiles, you know, your phone usage on the day, and indeed your college attendance. So all of those things are important to us in terms of who we decide to offer a 45-day placement to. So successful candidates would come to us for the 45-day placement, which takes place over a 9-week period. And it's a structured placement aligned with the college curriculum to work seamlessly with your studies. So very much working in partnership with colleges like Manchester College in order to make sure that what we're providing works for you. It's also an opportunity for you to see how an engineering company works. And we do the placement in the second year of the T-level programme, and we would encourage applications in year 1. So once you've done a placement with us, you do rotations through different little teams for that placement, and upon completion you'll get a certificate from us and you'll get a reference. There's also a celebration day that enables you to present back to your college peers and your tutors alongside the organisation to demonstrate what you've learned through that placement with us. And that gives us an opportunity to see you as well and understand, you know, if we were to offer a position with the organisation following completion of your studies, you know, what we might expect from you. Today, from the 2 cohorts of T-level placements that we've done, we've offered 50% placements to students. So partnering with the Manchester College continues to play a key role in developing the young engineering talent across Greater Manchester. Amy here was a student at Manchester College. She joined us in 2024 on her 45-day placement. She then went back to college and completed her qualifications in the August, and she started full-time with us in the September. So those are the types of things that we can offer somebody. For us, we very much like to think of ourselves as an inclusive employer. We're trying to increase the number of female employees through the T-level route. So we currently know that only 9% of T-level placements are female in engineering, and we're working alongside the colleges to try to increase that number. So for us at the moment, 20% of our T-level placements are female. And events like today, and indeed the networking events that we talked about earlier, very much showcase what we can do and how we can develop those unrepresented groups into engineering and into R&B as well. So we've developed a career pathway within the organisation. So very much when you come and you do a T-level role with us as a full-time employee, you have a 12 to 18 month rotational program across the business, looking particularly at manufacturing and engineering, but also into the office at design and development and project management. And that allows you to experience all the different roles whilst allowing us to look at your skills and capability. And then at the end of that, we like to think that we've got a role that we can align your skill set with the opportunities for us as an organisation. But all of these roles are interchangeable. So as you develop your knowledge and skills with us, there's no reason why you can't have a long and lasting career, but also a varied career with us to suit the needs of you as an individual. I'll now hand over to Sophie.
Morning everyone. Yes, I'm going to quickly talk you through some of the digital services that we've got for young people at the GMCA. So as Jake says, my name is Sophie and I've come from the GMCA looking at Beeline, which is part of GMAX and is a new tool for you to help you support in decision making for your pathways. So if we move on to the next slide, please. So just a little bit about Beeline. So it's a free digital tool. It's accessed via GMAX, which is the Greater Manchester Apprenticeship and Careers Service. So a website widely used by young people in Greater Manchester. And it gives yourselves an idea of the types of jobs that are available in Greater Manchester, but more importantly, how to get there as well. So it takes you through all the different pathways that you can do. And then what it does at the end is it allows you to explore some real jobs, some real vacancies on a live vacancy website that allows you to explore the types of jobs that you could potentially be applying for if you kind of utilize this tool and take the path that that it's kind of guiding you through. You'll learn about the different types of qualifications and trainings, and what I'll do now is I'll quickly take you through the information based around age 14, 16 and 18. And we can have the next slide, please. And what I'll do is I'll just caveat this with it's really difficult to actually talk about a website on a slideshow. So what I would recommend is please do have a look at Beeline yourselves and have a good explore of it. It's the best way to understand how it works. But essentially what we do is we start off with the 7 different sector gateways in Greater Manchester. So these have been developed with lots of different bits of data and research to allow us to understand that these are the best jobs essentially in the best sectors in Greater Manchester that are growing, that are high quality and where there's plenty of jobs both now and in the future as well. And essentially when you're on Beeline, you have a look through these and you pick which one that you might be interested in the most. You also get to explore them a little bit further on as well, but for a starting point you pick one of these. For the example that I'm going to kind of talk you through, I did pick health. So if we move on to the next slide, please. So like I say, there's 3 different sort of pinch points or decision making points that are on Beeline, and that's at age 14, 16 and 18. So 14 when you're picking your options at GCSEs, 16 when you finish school and you're thinking about next steps, and then 18 plus as well if you did want to do any higher level education. So as an example, at 14 it allows you to have a look at the different GCSE options that align really well to that sector. So for health and social care, there's like all sorts of different bits that you can do that will really help you with that. Then at 16, the different types of things that you can do after school, and that's including T-levels, apprenticeships, A-levels, and then 18 if you wanted to get into a job straight away, the types of jobs that you can do, or if you wanted to do something else, a higher level education like a degree apprenticeship or a degree, the types of jobs that you could then go into as well. And then if we go on to the next slide, you can see actually, because it is T-level week, I thought I would show you that you can have a look at all of the different T-levels that are available in Greater Manchester within that sector as well. So I've just clicked on the health. There's more T-levels to do with health and social care, but this is just health. And then you can have a look at the different types of jobs you can do, but more importantly, you can see all of the different colleges that are available that do T-levels within that, and then you can click into them and explore a little bit further. And then if we click onto the next slide, just in terms of at the end of Beeline, so what it allows you to do is have a look at the different jobs that are available in Greater Manchester if you follow that pathway, and then if you click into them it takes you to a live job board. We use Adzuna, which allows you to see things like the average salary of the jobs, the types of employers that are trying to find people for these jobs, the types of skills that you're looking for. So it really does give you a real life sort of experience in terms of like if you was to choose these paths, these are the types of options that are available for you in Greater Manchester. So a really good tool, even if you are kind of between those different ages, just a really good way to research the types of jobs that you could get into if you follow a specific pathway into a sector. And then if we just move on to the next slide, I've just got a couple of extra bits just to talk you through just in relation to the other digital products that we've got in Greater Manchester for young people. So we've got GMAX, the Greater Manchester Apprenticeship and Career Service. This is essentially a one-stop shop for careers for yourselves. So search for live apprenticeship vacancies, have a look at what's on in your local borough, have a look at the different blogs and videos that are available on there. There's T-level placements that are on offer that you can have an explore, as well as like looking at the different growth sectors in Greater Manchester and learning about the different jobs within them. If on the next slide you can see we've also got Curriculum for Life as an offer. This is a fairly new website and it's been completely co-designed with young people in mind and with young people. So the whole thing has been made with young people for young young people in Greater Manchester, and these are a set of blog articles that are about really important things that young people think are important for other young people to know about. So there's topics such as climate change, financial education, politics, all sorts on there, and young people write the content themselves. There is an opportunity to write content on here as well, so please do get in touch on the contact page at Curriculum for Life if you are interested in writing an article for it. And then finally, on my last slide before I hand back, there's also Our Pass as well, just to let you know about. So this is the free bus travel for 16 to 18-year-olds and discounted tram travel. But also there is a really good website that aligns with Our Pass that's got something called exclusives on. These have got loads of really like freebies, discounts, competitions, all sorts on there. So please make sure you're having a look at that website as well, just to see what's on offer that you might not be aware of. I think that's my section done. So I will be passing back to Jake, I believe.
Massive thank you to all of our speakers for sharing their stories, and for all of you joining us today. I think a key skill that we can maybe draw out of the session that we've all been a part of today is perseverance, and something you can take away and use in your own personal lives, in school, at home, whatever that may be. You've seen we've used perseverance on the session this morning with you know, some minor tech issues, but you just keep rolling with it. Just a reminder, you all should have a pre-session activity that will help you explore more around T-levels and understanding what your future looks like within Greater Manchester. Massive shout out and again a massive another plug for GMAC, so the Greater Manchester Apprenticeship and Career Service platform. Please make sure you use that should you feel it's useful for you in the future. If you've not used it before, please speak to a teacher who should be able to share more for you. For teachers, parents and carers joining us today, we've added the Q&A link to our feedback form that should be in the chat for you. Please can I just encourage everybody who's attended today to take part in that feedback so we can make sessions better in the future, and make sure it is content that you want to see going forward. Just again, a massive thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you all for joining and have a fantastic morning. Cheers.